Also thinking about a family party setting, holiday party setting, where Lucas kind of struggles is the initial hello.
Yeah.
It's you're talking about 20 people, 25 people if you're talking about a big holiday party. So there's no warm up time for that.
Right.
Right. We're not even getting to the warm up time. And it's like.
So remember, one of the things that Jennifer talked about this morning in parent education was warm up begins before you even get there. So if you know there's going to be 20 people, and again, sometimes with relatives, it's the hardest because they've known them. So even when your children make progress, they sometimes see themselves as the way they were the last time they saw them. So they may go back to mutism when they've been verbal. And it's like, whoa, what's that about? So my point, one of my points is to prepare him, but also to kind of maybe FaceTime these relatives, even if he's just playing a game or acting silly, to at least see them. And then get there early. Say to the person giving the party, I know it starts at 10. Would you mind if we get there at 9:30? We can even help you set up. It'll really help my son feel more comfortable. Bring something. Maybe one of the things that's really easy to do is to say, hey, we have some like food we're bringing. We really need to heat it up and get it ready. So would it be okay if we arrive a little early? It's a little bit of a kind of like back end way of getting in there early because we want to get it warmed up and we need to do some last minute things when they get there. There's so many things when you talk to parents that will say the things I had to do to change to help my child feel comfortable. So then you've got the warm up happening, and take note of the warm up time. One of the goals that we give parents in practice is in treatment is journal their warm up. See how long it takes and know that during that warm up, they're not going to be doing much. Don't go trying to hit a home run the minute you walk in. Like, say hi to Uncle Bill, you're going to get 10 points. If you know that your son or daughter is more shut down in the beginning, respect that time. Monitor their body language. What are they looking like? When they start to kind of smile more, be a little more relaxed, let them hang on you to the side. Don't have this goal if you need to separate right away. Believe me, the more that you push this, the more that they're anxious. So know they're going to be a little bit of a hanger, but give them reasons like, hey, we brought your bag of stuff. There's cousin Sally. Let's go sit down and play with them. Or let's go in the kitchen to your older child and get that food ready to be able to give out. And that way you're diverting them to a task or something to do. And by doing that, it's focus. And then did you know that when you're thinking, when you're using your cortex, it's really hard to shut down. So one of the things that I utilize in my treatment is to think, to be ready, to be on the lookout, to look out. Let's be on the I Spy to see how quickly we see Uncle Bill. You're helping them divert from a shutdown because they're now thinking they're doing. By doing the meal and adding the different things to cook it at the party, or to get the stickers ready to give out maybe when he's ready, or to play the game and setting it up, that's thinking. You don't tend to shut down.
Right.
So it's called like, isn't that interesting? Because you're using your thinking. When you shut down is when you're caught off guard and unexpected. But when you're busy doing something, it's really hard to shut down. So I think that's interesting, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I see that my daughter loves to be engaged and it's all, but when the pressure is higher and she doesn't have a task at hand, it becomes almost impossible.
Yep.
And I liked that Jenna this morning also said that take baby steps, arrive somewhere, but then take the lead and say, hey, you know what? I need to go to the bathroom.
Yes.
So that there's like an even bigger warm up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's all of this kind of fluff in the beginning to comfort build. Comfort precedes communication. End of story. If you're not comfortable, you're not going to be able to do much. And then that's how you see yourself. So wouldn't it be great to just have a successful time where your child feels successful, even if it's not verbalizing right away? Some of these kids can't do that. But then you become the verbal intermediary by using that kind of SM triangle. So as you see them starting, look, I always make this joke that kids go to parties and the parties are an hour and a half long. Takes a lot of our kids an hour and 25 minutes, and now they're leaving your side. So right?
Yes.
So bringing a friend brings it down. Going early brings it down. Educating others. The one thing we have not talked about here is about my child worksheet. I developed that years and years ago as a kind of like a cheat sheet for families to give to others. You can fill in what you want, but it's a wonderful way to educate others on what to do and what not to do. We have that on our site. We're going to send it to you after CommuniCamp as well. But that is a wonderful tool to use. Whether you email people, hey, we're going to be coming to the party. You know that Lucas can get a little bit anxious. It's hard, takes him a bit to warm up. Here's some things that I'd ask that you do. And that's one of the things we talk a lot about are common questions. And you know why? Because these are questions people ask and it minimizes your need to think and process. So giving these people questions to ask your child when they're more warmed up, then you've already practiced it. You're on the lookout for it. It becomes a game. And you're just amazed how all of a sudden your child can participate. Even if you reword it to a thumbs up, thumbs down, if they're still mute in that moment. But you're learning skills. And I know how well, honestly, she's doing in camp. So we're making that progress. We're becoming verbal. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It just might take longer for some.
Yeah, I want to emphasize something that you said that really resonates with me. And that's a shift for me, knowing that a high stress situation, a holiday party is not the place she's going to make progress. And to just say it's okay, that today we're just going to get through it in a comfortable way. And that's the goal. So kind of resetting the goal and not judging myself for letting her bridge down when she needs to. Not saying she's always going to bridge down, but look, listen, learn, and see that in this moment, she's pretty flooded with her emotions. And so getting a verbal response isn't going to happen. But if I can do, thumbs up, thumbs down, or tell me the answer, she can do that.
And you know what ends up happening when you lower your expectations? Because she's so sensitive, you project that to her of not that you don't think she can, but that you're okay with where she's at. And that is such a relief to kids that you're okay and that it's hard and we're working towards this. And you definitely can use your bridge and go back and say, hey, do you remember when Aunt Sally asked a question? You were able to tell me, like, that's really great. You felt comfortable. Would you say that was like a 5? I mean, I think it was like out of 5. I think it was like maybe a 2 or a 3. And you might have your daughter go, it's a 1. And then they're cognitively thinking through it. Or, God, when Uncle Bill came over in a loud voice and he picked you up and threw you in there, my gosh, that was like a 5 for me just watching. How did you feel with that? And you kind of make it a little light. And oh my God, I got so nervous. So yeah, we got to educate Uncle Bill. But do you see how we're talking to the kids? It's so different than you need to and you should. And if you talk, and you got to be brave to talk right now, they're not ready to be brave to do anything other than show up maybe. But for those that can, well, of course we're going to work on verbal. Of course we might work on initiation. So for the child that is verbal, they may get ready for, hi, how are you? And start with their I am or I just statements. I'm going on a vacation with my parents. There are kids working on not only verbal initiation, but elaboration and expression. And maybe you do different games and activities. So in your bag of props, maybe there are games that your child enjoys playing. Make it holiday themed. Make it themed of maybe a character they enjoy for some of the younger kids. But having those games to sit with their cousins or to do a cupcake making or cookie baking with them for the holidays, I hope these are giving you ideas.
One of the things that Dr. Jenna even recommended for checking in at CommuniCamp for Lucas with Lisa Marie and with Dakota and faces that he may not be familiar with, that quick exchange of checking in, was to give them each a sticker. Yeah. And we've done that the last 2 mornings, and he really is receptive to handover takeover. I'm even thinking that we might do that for our holiday parties as a way to just break the ice.
Absolutely. So I know verbalization, selective mutism, it's focusing on getting a kid to talk. The act of social engagement is incredibly powerful. First of all, it stimulates communication, social communication. It's the fuel. So Frontline welcomes people to ask and engage, but handing something stimulates eye contact. And it takes the pressure off them. And for kids that can't, handing over with a parent may be something you need to do. So if your daughter's really nervous, I mean, you don't want to do something like that if she's frozen, like take a frozen arm and push it away. But what you could do is together, hey, let's hand these out together. Or for gifts that you're giving to people. But I love the idea of stickers and giving things out. It's such a wonderful way to divert from talking, but stimulating social communication. And that does welcome a common question that somebody may ask, whether you prep them or they're going to just ask the common questions. It's amazing how it all starts to work together. So yeah, I saw Lucas when he checked into camp and he handed me the sticker right away, made amazing eye contact and answered my question right there at the front with all these people around. Just that act alone became the focus of the stickers. And it wasn't about, how are you right away?